Hello, trading is closed on February 21st, 2018. Last night I said this decline didn't impress me, and unless we promptly took out this low, I expected to see higher prices. I looked for a pattern with an early low and a late high and a tendency to rally into the close. That's the pattern we got. We obviously didn't rally into the close. And I said if we didn't, more weakness would be coming. All that's invalidated if we gap up and promptly take out this high, which looks like the longest of long shots at this time. During the day, MEJT said ultimately lower prices would print, and ultimately they did. Here it said ultimately higher prices would print, but it marked all these wiggles as false moves and said they'd retrace, which they did. Now, for people unfamiliar with the system, this is a good example of how you use it. The system gives targets and not really entries and exits. I mean, this was a target we had since February 16th. It didn't do us too much good February 16th, but we knew by remembering the target that we had resistance right at and right over this level here. We also knew that highs in futures, lows in futures at extremes tend to be seen in regular trading hours at some time. This was equal to the over the weekend high. And we knew from MEJT system, while you're railing up here, this move is a false move and this move is a false move. You're at resistance and you have much lower targets coming up. Well, all these targets have been hit. We're free falling into the close. The futures have tanked as I'm recording this. And the question is, are we going to just keep on dropping? And the answer is, if we do, it'll be a big drop, but I think there's a very good chance that we gap up instead in spite of what futures are doing at the moment. We have a wall into the close. You all know how I feel about walls. It represents panic selling. Now, the ultimate move should be down. Here was the Fed announcement. We get a three-wave whipsaw. Here's wave one. It tells you what's ultimately going to happen. Wave two is further away from the point of the announcement, and wave three is furthest of all. We've gone down in a straight line to a very significant support level. This is a target of some prior consolidations. If I can move this, I'll show you. Here's the prior consolidation. There's the target. You look at this larger consolidation. You measure from here to here. Take your Fibonacci ratio. There's the target. You'll recall that these points identified this low. Why this gives me a hard time, I don't know. The same points identified this high, and right now the same FEB points are identifying this low. So we've dropped right to a support level, but not through it. We did look for a rally, which we got, and so that it wouldn't go past this line here. Now this level, as it turns out, is at the 50% level of wave C, and it's also at the 50% level of the drop we had from January 26th. So we have a lot of support from a number of things right over here, and the rule is you either gap under support or the support wins. Now this isn't the only way to count this, but if we've got 5 waves down, we have an ABC up. And if we were going to have another impulsive move down, I wouldn't expect an ABC pattern with C equal to A. It's possible this morphs into something else, but this is not an impulsive move down, which is what I would like to see when we drop in spades for keeps. It's no secret, I think, that the market's in for a big drop coming up, but that doesn't mean we have to drop in a straight line. Tomorrow's pattern is the one with the early low, but it doesn't mean we won't gap up first. And I think there's a good chance we gap up first before dropping, and the gap up could be substantial in spite of what futures are doing now. If instead we gap under this low, which is entirely possible in a market like this, I don't see anything to prevent it from dropping even further right now, and there's probably some other count that I haven't come up with. So we have to see how we open tomorrow. The pattern is negative, lower prices are coming, but there's a good chance of gapping up first, and if we don't, the drop should start right now, and that's today's call.